Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron. Welcome back to the channel. Part 5. I knew I was going to make this video. I just didn't expect it to be so soon, because it's literally been 2 days since I did Part 4. But here we are. And just like the past few canceled videos, this is going to be studio specific. Because Part 3 was about Warner Brothers, Part 4 was about Sony, now Part 5 is about Paramount. And that's because just today, Paramount announced some new release dates for several of their movies, as you can see with this Deadline article. So, Top Gun Maverick and the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, are now the latest victims of the pandemic. They now join the alarmingly large group of movies that have been delayed because of you-know-what. But there is some good news, and I know good news is rare right now, but it does exist. And that's that A Quiet Place 2, which was supposed to come out March 20th, then it got removed from the calendar entirely. It now has a new release date. It's going to be coming out Labor Day weekend, which makes me so freaking happy, because I was really worried it would get pushed back to next year, and I would have been real sad. So, in fact, every movie here is still going to come out in 2020. Just on a later date. So it's pretty much the opposite of Sony, where they decided to just push everything back to 2021. Well, not everything, but, a decent amount of their movies. So yeah, let's start with Top Gun Maverick. So the long-awaited Tom Cruise Skydance sequel, Top Gun Maverick, is now going on Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020, instead of June 24th. This will push the Chris Pratt sci-fi Skydance movie, The Tomorrow War, to an unset date. So instead of Top Gun Maverick getting a summer release date, it's now getting a winter release date. Which is kind of weird. Because, you look at even the original Top Gun, you look at that just screams summer. It screams summer. And, it would make all the sense in the world for Top Gun Maverick to also be a summer movie, but because of the chaos going on in the world, that couldn't happen. So now it's in December, which is just strange. Granted, I didn't think Aquaman would work out as a December release, and it made $1 billion. So, it's possible this could still be a huge hit, but there is a real big problem with December. And that's because December is ridiculously loaded with movies. Even before the pandemic, it was ridiculously loaded. As you can see right here. There's like 7 or 8 movies. It's insane. So Top Gun 2 will now be released around the same time as Tom and Jerry, The Nightingale, The Croods 2, News of the World, West Side Story, American Underdog, Warner Story, Dune, and Coming to America 2. That's too many freaking movies. And I know Christmas is a time, a lot of movies can thrive because everybody's off of school, they don't have to deal with work for a couple days. It's a good time to release a movie, but I feel like having too many movies, and especially around the same time, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. So there's really 2 options. Either at least some of these movies or most of these movies do well, or all the movies fall, or at least they falter because there's just too much in the marketplace. But that's not till December. We're in freaking April, so we don't have to worry about that for a long time. So that's the first movie that has been delayed. And I know a lot of people are sad because a lot of people were really excited about this movie because the trailers looked really freaking good. But things happen. And it sucks, but what are you going to do? All right, so the second movie that's been delayed is the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. It was supposed to come out Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd, but it will now come out July 31st. Literally the end, more or less the beginning of August. So, and the thing is, it now replaces Morbius, because Morbius was supposed to come out July 31st, but now it's coming out March 2021. So, SpongeBob movie takes a spot. I don't think this is going to hurt the SpongeBob movie in a big way because it's literally only 2 months. It's not that bad of a delay. And, assuming that people are comfortable with going to the movie theaters around this time, which it could happen, it might not. No one's sure. No one's entirely sure. But if people are comfortable with going to the movie theaters by the time SpongeBob comes out, I think it could do well because SpongeBob is a pretty innocent movie. You know, I think because especially parents are going to be stuck with their kids for so long that they are just desperate to get out of the house with the kids. So I think the SpongeBob movie will do very well if it stays at its current release date. If it gets pushed back further, who knows what's going to happen. So that's the second movie. And now the third and final movie, the most important movie in my opinion, A Quiet Place Part 2. So yeah, it was originally expected to go March 20th before getting pulled from the calendar as, the what fears ramped up. It will now open on September 4th, Labor Day weekend, which is the final weekend of the summer. So as they say, Labor Day weekend is typically the deadliest period ever for moviegoing as people head back to school, which is very true. Labor Day weekend is just a dead zone. It's been a dead zone for a very long time because, again, people are planning to go back to school, people got work, and, football season is about to start. Like, the last thing people want to do at that point is go to the movies. But I think Quiet Place 2 could change that. Because, Quiet Place 2 was one of the most anticipated movies of 2020. Definitely one of my most anticipated movies. Because I loved the first Quiet Place. And the trailers for the second movie looked really good. So I was so hyped for it. And I was so disappointed when it was removed from the schedule. But now that it's, still on for 2020, I will definitely see it. No matter what. I don't care. The fears, people be like, oh no, I don't want to go to the movies. I don't care. I'm going to see this opening night. Nothing's going to stop me. All right? And I think it's guaranteed that Quiet Place 2 will break the Labor Day weekend opening weekend record, which really isn't hard to do because the biggest is still Halloween, the 2007 reboot. Opened with 30 million for the 4-day. Quiet Place 2 should crush that. No problem. So, at least 2020 has something. It'll at least break some record, I guess. That's pretty much it. But there is a bit of a problem. And that's the weekend after we have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So we got 2 big horror movies back to back. That's never a good thing. Because there's a high chance that the 2 are going to cannibalize each other, and then the 2 are not going to make as much as they should have. But I do think, of the 2, I think A Quiet Place 2 will win. Because I think The Conjuring is just played out at this point. They've made one too many movies of The Conjuring. And the audience is starting to dwindle a little bit. I think The Nun was the breaking point for the series, because although it was the highest grossing movie, it was hated by a lot of people. And so the next movie, Annabelle Comes Home, did relatively worse than really it was the lowest performing movie in the series. So I don't think The Conjuring 3 is gonna do all that great. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. So, these are all the movies that have been, the release dates haven't been changed yet. Artemis Fowl, that's getting moved. Unless Disney wants that movie to die, which wouldn't surprise me, because they already delayed it a whole year already. It's supposed to come out last year, but it didn't. So, yeah, I think Disney's just going to put that on Disney+. That'd be the smart thing to do. Candyman. I don't know. I'd push that to August. Maybe October. No, not October. Maybe January. maybe January, February, that could be a decent enough date. Soul, that's hard. It's because Pixar movies, they usually come out in summer. That's usually the release date, or Thanksgiving. But Disney already has a movie for Thanksgiving this year, so you can't, unless they want to replace it, which they totally could. But I don't know. It's hard to say because after what happened with Onward, I don't think they want to put it in spring anymore because Onward did terrible. Well, its opening weekend was bad. Well, although a lot of people would be like, well, it was the coronavirus fears. Well, the coronavirus fears didn't really ramp up until the second weekend. That's when everything just died at the box office. It was the worst weekend since, like, what, 1998? So, yeah. Onward. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do a spring release date anymore for Pixar movies. Free Guy. Could that stay? Maybe. But we'll see. Purge 5, I don't care. Bob's Burgers, don't care. Tenet, please. I want Tenet to stay in 2020. I hope it doesn't move because I want to see it so badly because it's Christopher Nolan. But I don't know. Everything's just so. It's hard to say anymore. Jungle Cruise, I think that could stay in July. I don't think anything's gonna happen to it. So yeah, I got some movies here. Wonder Woman 1984 now on August 14th. Yada yada yada. Honestly, if I were Disney, I would sacrifice. Okay, maybe not sacrifice. I just realized that because having Mulan and Wonder Woman 1984 come out at the same time would be a terrible idea. I don't know. Maybe the 7th, or maybe no. See what? This is so freaking hard because so many movies are undated. It gets hard to know when to. Because you have to think about what movies should be pushed back further, what movies should be replaced. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So, yeah. I'm probably going to make a part 6. But I don't know what other movies will be delayed. Besides, I think Soul and Artemis Fowl are next on the chopping block, if you ask me. But we'll see. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. Want to check out my past canceled videos, you can go right ahead. I'm probably going to make a playlist for those on the homepage. That way you can see them. And it really sucks that I never got to do proper predictions for any of these movies because I was planning on doing it. But then all this crap happened. And now this is, for a lot of these movies, it's the only way I'm going to talk about them. So yeah, it sucks, but what can you do? So yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out.